tutorialstop.com. What we're going to do today is take a look at the clone stamp tool. I have Adobe Photoshop CS2 open up, and you can see the clone stamp tool is located right over here. It looks like a little stamper. You click and hold on it. You'll have two different tools in there, the clone stamp and the pattern stamp tool. We're interested in the clone stamp tool, so I'm going to go ahead and click that. What we're going to do is just see how we can use the clone stamp tool to remove some of the seeds flying off the flower. I'm going to get my zoom tool, and I'm going to zoom right into this region. So you can see holding down my space key now, and as you hold down the space key, you can activate the hand tool, which allows you to move this around. So I'm holding down the space key. As soon as I let go of the space bar, you're back to your zoom tool. So space bar, move around, and if I had the clone stamp tool and held down my space bar and let go, notice it just goes back to the clone stamp tool. So let's see how this works. I'm going to go ahead and get my zoom tool again, hold down my Alt key and click a few times. So what I'm going to do is get the clone stamp tool. I'm going to get a relatively big brush, and how I do that is the left and right bracket keys on my keyboard. So, and that's usually next to your P key. As you can see, the left bracket key makes it bigger or smaller. The right bracket key makes it bigger. I'm going to go and I'm going to sample the region that I want to cover this white spot with. So I want to sample this region. Hold down my Alt key. You can see when you hold down your Alt key, get that little target symbol. So while you hold down that Alt key, you click, and that targets that region. And then I come over and I click and hold down your mouse, and you can see two different symbols now, a little circle and a plus sign. Well, what's happening is it's taking those pixels underneath the plus sign and placing them into the little circle. So I just let go of my mouse, and the best way to do this is to create multiple samples. So I'm done with that. Now I'm going to hold down my Alt key and click and let go. And I come over here and click and hold down. You can see that I just covered up that spot. So there's a spot right there as well. I come in this region, hold down my Alt key and click to sample. I'll come up here and click, cover that up. So you can see these different scratches. It looks like there's some right in here. Hold down my Alt key and sample and click and click. And you normally want to get pretty close to the area you wish to cover up. So I'm going to get pretty close to this little, you can see that little dot right inside there. I'm going to hold down my Alt key and click. And so that took the sample. Now if I come and click, you can see the little plus sign. It took those pixels from underneath the plus sign and put them inside the circle. And you got to be kind of careful, because you can go, for example, I can actually clone this flower. If I was to sample right in here, I'm going to hold down my Alt key and sample. Then come over here. Now pay careful attention to that plus sign. See how the plus sign, and I'm holding down my mouse, and I'm actually cloning another flower right into the region, because the plus sign is taking the pixels underneath the plus sign and placing them where the circle is. And so I can actually clone entire objects and not just use it for fixing up a photo, although that's where I primarily find I'm using this tool, is for touching photos up. So you can see I just cloned. Now notice there, I'm out into the green. You'll see the plus signs over the green. That's not really what I wanted to happen. So I'm just going to Control Z to undo that entire flower. So again, if I hold down my Alt key and click, you'll see the little target. Click right there, and I move out over here and click. You just pay attention to where the plus sign is. You move your mouse around, and it takes everything underneath that plus sign and clones it. So it's a really great tool, and this tool is great for doing things like cleaning up wrinkles, or maybe a blemish on someone's face, like a pimple or something like that. And you can just get to the area you wish to clone, normally right around the area that's bad. Alt click, come up and click and hold down your mouse. And notice that started cloning some of the white, because I need to Alt click again. Click, cover up the white spot. Great tool. So all it does is samples pixels and takes those sampled pixels and starts dumping them into the circle here. So you want to pay attention to two areas, the plus sign and the little circle.